gunshot wounds, approximately 11 to 1,500. And because of the lifestyle running around, his uncles and cousins are not documented and not missed, can't be traced because of all the disbursement of peoples across the United States when they evacuated. Do you have any confirmation of that?
I don't actually. To the contrary, I know some guys still that are of the Green Beret type, and what I understand actually went down. I understand that there was a retired SEAL team commander down there in New Orleans. This is the only thing I've heard about the SEALs in New Orleans. And when they brought in the mercenaries and the troops, he actually called it, and I think it was Team 6, but he called his team in, whoever they were. They posted in his house, and when Blackwater showed up to his door to confiscate his firearms, he raised an arm, barrels came out the window, and he pretty well gave the Blackwater guys the word that they could attempt to take his firearms. They would all be killed from elevated positions, or they could leave with their tails tucked. And the happy ending of the story is the Blackwater guys went running with their tails tucked. But I'd never heard anything sinister, and quite frankly, man, this is something I think everybody needs to know. This is something that this is Kennedy's legacy that lives through special operations, and I'm certain the Navy SEALs have got something like this. But every one of these teams that was created under the Special Operations Command, their team sergeants have directives that if the government goes rogue, that they have to have a plan. So I wouldn't think that you would ever see Navy SEALs doing that here in the United States, to be quite honest.
The story went that Marvin DeFillo, the public relations director for the NOPD, saw a trailer full, and then that's when he took his own life. And I'm not talking bad about SEALs. I love them, but I take your advice that you wouldn't see that. And I appreciate your time and everybody's time. Thanks so much.
Great to talk to you, Mark, as always. Let's go to caller 803. Go ahead, area code 803.
Hey, folks, it's Brian again. I called in about an hour ago. I heard y'all talking about what might be behind Barack Obama, and I think if you'll do the research, you'll find that Aramco, which is Saudi Arabia, British Petroleum, and a guy named, if I'm not mistaken, Larry Fink.
Yes.
In Chicago. My question is, and I'm wondering if y'all are thinking the same thing, the only thing stopping the Fourth Reich is the patriots in America and Israel. The Bible Belt in the United States is something that's got to go. And what I think could be going on is they're trying to wrestle control away from the United States as far as Saudi Arabia and the oil field there. If they can get it, that's the end of us. We're a non-issue. And I'm just wondering if you guys think there might be something to that.
Go ahead, Andrew. You have any input?
Well, all I know about this guy, whether it's Larry Fink or Richard Fink, I know he's the majority shareholder in BP, and he's good buddies with Tim Geithner and Larry Summers. And no surprise, it's always the usual suspects that pop up on the radar. But outside of that, I don't know too much about him. I haven't really researched him, but I wish I could answer the question. But that's all I know about Fink, is that he's tied in basically to the Federal Reserve heavily.
Griffith, have you ever done any research into Barack Obama's background?
Did you ask me?
Yeah.
There's no background to dig into.
Yeah. It's a total closed book secret.
Well, that's just it. I know everything's sealed off. Even if we did see it, it really wouldn't make a whole hell of beans right now, because things are so dire that it doesn't really matter what his background is, or where he comes from, or what's going to happen. Because really, folks, if you think about it, and thank you, caller, for the call, we don't have years anymore. We're not talking years. What do you think, Riff? We're on a 90-day type of reset, or what? I mean, what are we looking at?
Well, our lifestyle is going to get more and more miserable as the days and the weeks go on. I don't know where you draw that imaginary line in the sand, but we're going toward that fast. I want to mention that if we lose the Gulf, if the air is poisoned or polluted and you can't breathe down there, or some other methane event occurs, you're going to lose the supertanker offloading facilities that allows oil to go back and forth. You're going to shut down thousands of wells, and petroleum is going to stop. You're not going to be able to man the wells. You're going to lose all the industry. You're going to lose the commerce, the tax on all of those states and real estate and the banks, and that tipping will be the final demise of the U.S. dollar. When the dollar collapses, all goods are going to stop coming into the United States from China and other countries. All of our shoes, our clothing, our food products, our medicines, everything will stop. It will stop. And you're going to have 300 million people sitting, looking at each other, turning on one another to eat up all of the food that has been stored. No country is going to come to our aid. You will not see airplanes flying in from Berlin bringing food to the Americans. So there's going to be a few handfuls of people that will have the knowledge to rebuild, and it's going to be quite a challenge doing that. And I'm looking forward to rebuilding. I think the collapse will be the best thing that could ever happen to the American people. It will clean, it will cleanse, it will clear the deck for rebuilding, and that's the only thing that's going to allow us to rebuild. Joe?
I agree. Hey, I have a question for Henning from the chat room. Henning, what would justify them spraying more Corexit even today, long after the well was capped?
Yeah.
First of all, capping is out of the question, but I still believe they will carry on saying they can control it. And yeah, but already now they have so much Corexit in the water that is already doing the job for them, so they actually don't need to add more to this problem. The water is so polluted in some areas is directly explosive, and it's being carried in by the rain. It's doing the job already, so they don't even need to spray any more Corexit. The damage is done. It's a done deal, and it's irreversible now. It's over. That's how sad and that's simple it is. It's done.
And it's more of the long-term effects that you're looking at, right, when it comes to that, Henning?
Yeah, because petroleum, that product they're using is not like oil in the water, like crude oil in the water, where biological processes is breaking it down. You're talking about a sophisticated chemical based on a petroleum, which is coming from the crude oil itself, which have a very, very long breaking down period. We're talking about a century before the soil is actually useful for agriculture again. That's how much devastation they just did with this. They have destroyed America. Let's just say it like that. Destroyed it. Because it's going to be carried up by the winds through the Midwest. It's going to deposit right into our water table, right into our food chain, because the Midwest of America is our food chain. It's a done deal. It's over. And there will be a lot of hungry people because of that.
Do you think, Henning, that it's contained strictly to the United States, or do you see this being a worldwide problem?
I see that as becoming a worldwide problem, because now we know that the loop current is stopped. But I did a calculation of how long it will take for the loop current from the reference point, Mexican Gulf, and up to Europe, Northern Europe. There will be 74 days before the water column will be in that vicinity. We're already over that, and already at that time when they started spraying the Corexit, and until the loop current ceased, that was over 74 days. So all that stuff is already up there. It is already up there. And the damage will be done there too.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't see anything positive in it at all. It's the biggest crime in my eyes in world history, recorded history. The worst thing that ever took place. That's polluting our waters and our airways, water table, in that fashion that just did.
It really is a doggone shame. And what's even more of a shame is the fact that, I mean, we're just getting barraged, absolutely barraged in all senses, or in all directions. I got another caller online, so I'm going to go to him. Area code 603, you're live. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Watchman Noise again. I had one